working.
Hey YouTube, Awesome Writer here. This is going to be my review for the remote control Grogu or Baby Yoda from Star Wars The Mandalorian. I wanted to start the review off with a quick comparison to some of the other versions I have, and no, I don't have a problem, stop asking. Just because that's what I immediately wanted to talk about. As you can see here, this is the one we're talking about. This guy is a larger size, and I would say generally he feels a little bit closer to the size what it feels like in the show, or at least like the show is a little bit more like something in between these two, but he's larger than these other two, which right here on the left is your animatronic version, and then this is just kind of the general sounds version. This one almost looks identical to this one except for the animatronics there, but I wanted to show that size difference, and you can see the slight differences in color to his robes, and he's got soft hands as opposed to the hard hands and all that stuff, and obviously he's in a little bit of a different pose, but I wanted to show off the differences because I don't think this one's bad looking by any stretch of the imagination. It actually looks pretty good. This kind of feels interesting and like silicone-like, which is something that neither of these have, which is kind of interesting, and the black eyes here do look kind of interesting. I keep saying the word interesting, so I'm sorry. But I want to just point out that I think that overall the animatronic one is the best looking one. Not even just talking about the animatronics, but just looking wise, because you have more of the full eye here, which looks more lifelike. Even this one here has it. They don't move. But him having just the full-on black eyes makes him more look like a classic green or gray alien, and he looks a little bit dead inside. So that's something I wanted to point out. And he's got some different types of details. Like, it doesn't look bad, but it just looks a little bit odd. And I'll talk more about the differences in the animatronics as we get into the review, but I just wanted to show that off first. Okay, so for this review I had to pull out the backing because this guy's going to need to move around, and otherwise he's going to tear the backing up. But I already went over the comparison, but look-wise, I overall think he's fine. Like, this is a little bit strange. I wish that he had a little bit more of a full eye so it didn't look so creepy, but it's not terrible look-wise. I kind of dig the size of it. It does bother me a little bit that he has plush hands and then the rubbery head, mainly just because it doesn't match, but that's just a me thing. The sensor's right back here, you can see, and like I said, it's a good size. He has a little bit of softness in here, but then the rest you can feel the mechanism, and it's a little bit strange too because he's kind of on like this conveyor belt of wheels, so he feels a little bit less quote-unquote realistic than the others. But the on-off switch here is at the bottom, so then there's also a try me mode, but you want to put on the on mode, this, and there's a little button underneath here, and you can activate some of his noises and movements just by pressing that. But then there you go, you can see there. Oh, you're gonna destroy the review station! You're gonna destroy it! You have done that yourself. But anyway, but the main movements here are going to come from this remote. And I'm sure you've seen Star Wars toys like this before. There's a bunch of like Force and other Star Wars toys that have these little remotes. And it looks a little weird. It looks kind of like a droid. Part of me feels like they could have made it look like something from the show somehow. I don't know, but it's fine for whatever it is. And then you turn it on by holding down the on-off button here, and you'll see this light up so you know what you're getting. There you go. So now you know it's on. So the orange button here is for head action. Right. Right. I just realized that could have been taken the wrong way, but you know, to move his head around. That's what it's for. And you can see that the ears move and the neck moves, but the eyes don't move, which is what set apart the animatronic one, is you had the full-on eyes moving and stuff, and it just felt more lifelike. Like, this is neat, but it's a little bit less, I guess, immersive as the regular one. And the yellow button is follow, so when you press that, and this is intended for him to like follow you around when you're walking around, so you're going to want to be walking around, but you'll see it activates there, and he's kind of looking for you. Then the red button here, he'll just start walking. And the best way to stop that is by pressing any other button. So if you press red, I stopped it by pressing the head button, so that just stops it, but he'll just kind of start generally walking around. And then I stopped it with that. Then the purple button here is force movement. Now, full disclosure, I don't know if it's supposed to do that vibrating thing. That might be a glitch mess up with mine, where it's like using the... it's like a force back rub, so I don't know if it's supposed to do that. Mine might be glitchy. If it is, be warned for that. Otherwise, it's a really weird way, and in general, the machinery makes it feel a little bit more clunky than the animatronic one. Then I'm just gonna skip down to this one for a second. This one is just sounds. And so you can hear a lot of the same recognizable sounds. And then this one is supposed to be hide and seek mode. So he'll kind of look around for you. I'm kind of hiding from the view of him, but he's sort of looking for you, kind of looking with a sensor. I don't know if he's spotting me or not. It's kind of similar to the follow mode in a way, but I just don't have the way of showing it. But it's kind of meant to be more interactive, almost like an interactive race car that follows you. And see, he'll start looking around like that, and he'll try to start taking down the review station, and he'll just like trying to take this whole thing down until he finds you. But again, I stopped it by pressing the head movement. Now, then you can also remotely control him. You see this little thing here? And you can control him like a little race car, which is all kinds of, you know, okay. It feels a little bit weird, but, you know, it makes sense for the type of toy that it is. And I suppose, you know, if you're getting him going like that, it's nice to be able to stop him. That's another way to stop him, too. When you activate the walk mode, is you can just pull him back with the controls. And you can see here it also has a wrist strap, so you can hold it on there. You don't have to hold it like a detonator, but a wrist strap, so it looks kind of like a Power Rangers morpher. But overall, the main reason I picked this one up is I wanted to take a look at it because I've heard the animatronic one is pretty hard to find, and I wanted to see how decent of an alternative this one can be. And honestly, I think it's okay. I think kids will have a lot of fun with this, especially with like the follow and hide and seek modes and the sort of RC car elements, and it has kind of the basic movements of the animatronic ones. So I think kids will really like this one. Not that kids won't like the animatronic one, but I think that, you know, if you're like me and you're an older fan or in the middle or something and you were kind of looking for that animatronic feel of Baby Yoda, the animatronic one still is the most, you know, realistic, quote unquote, to feel like that. This one, the sort of dead inside eyes kind of makes it feel a little bit weird, and it feels weird controlling him like an RC car and just isn't exactly what I wanted for it. But I think if you're desperate, it might be okay, but otherwise I would wait until they become more readily available. But like I said, I think kids will really like this one. That's about it for this one though, guys. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can catch my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.